I am going to show you how we're going to do our mosaic tile project using the computer. So this is a little bit different. You won't need any art supplies, just your Chromebook. And I have an example here. This is of my son, and he's in his little toy car with Christmas tree on top, so it's Christmas themed. But the cool part about this is you actually have a picture to work with first, and I'll show you what that looks like here. I'll bring my picture up. I'm going to bring it forward here to the front. So here's the original picture that I started with. And then by using Google Drawing, I added tiles on top to make it a mosaic. So I'm going to send this back so then we can see again how. Send it to the back. So then all you see now is the tiles. But this one's a little bit more complicated. You don't have to start with a really complex picture. You can pick something a little bit easier to start and practice with, or even finish your assignment with. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. So what you need to do is first go to your Google Drive. Then you're going to go up to the New button up here. Pull that down. You'll see all the docs and sheets that you guys normally use for school. You're going to go to More, and Google Drawing is the first one at the top there. You're going to click on that. You're going to let it load here. In this box, we need to actually make a background first. And actually, we should probably title this. We'll title this Mosaic. Mosaic, and probably with your name would be good, Mrs. Pullman. And always for art class, what I have you guys do is also put your grade. So let's say this is for 3rd grade Progs class, so 3K. So don't forget to put that up there as well. That way it'll be easy to find when it automatically saves to your Google Drive. Okay, so we have to add a background. What you're going to end up doing is first going to your shapes icon here, go to shapes and go to rectangle. And we're going to fill this whole entire square up, or rectangle up. The auto color fill is blue, and you could definitely can change that. So this background is going to be the grout. The grout is what's in between each little tile piece. So it can be whatever color you want. I'm going to go with black for this example that I'm going to show you. So once we have our background, we need to find a picture. So we're going to go up to the picture icon here, insert image. If this icon doesn't show up here, you can also go up to insert up here as well. Insert image. You can, if you already have a picture that you would like to do that's on your computer, you could upload it from your computer. Or same thing with your drive if you have an image on your drive that you want to use. I don't, so I'm going to search the web, which you certainly can too. Over here I'm going to write, let's do pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. That's coming up. So I get all these images. What you want to kind of look for is an actual photo of something versus a drawing or clip art. It just doesn't work that well for something like this to do a tile work on or something like that. Oh, and I like this one, so I'm going to pull this one over. Click on it, insert. From here, you can crop it, so you can take parts of the image out, you can zoom in, you can make it bigger or smaller by dragging. And I'm actually just going to leave it how it is. I think it will work just fine. And then from here is when we start adding our shapes, our little tiles, making our little tiles, our mosaic part. So we're going to actually go up to this line icon here. And we're going to do the drop down button. So we have line, arrow, curve, and we're going to go all the way down to polyline. Cool part about polyline is that you can make your own shape. There isn't a shape that's already made for you. So every time you click, you start a new corner and line. So here's my first tile that I made. And it autofills white, but what you want to end up doing is changing the color to try and match the color of the object that you just put your tile on. So I'm going to go up to fill color. And we need a type of orange that kind of matches our pie. And we're going to try this one. Ooh, that's pretty close. That's close enough. You will also notice that there is a black line around it. That's a border line. Because my grout is going to be black, that border line won't really affect me a whole lot. But if your border is a different color than black, you're going to want to go up to the border color, up to this little pencil here, and go to transparent. So then that line will go away. So then you can just kind of keep going and make up your own little shapes. And the cool part is it will automatically fill that color. So if you stay in the same area, you could keep doing that same area and it will fill in that color without you having to change the color all the time. So I'm going to just kind of keep adding some things on here. If you notice, I am leaving space between each of my tiles, and I'm trying to keep my tiles kind of small so I have more variation. But I'm leaving that space in there because with a mosaic, it's just you're gluing little tiles on next to each other, but have the grout in between. So once I actually put this picture in the back, my black background here will fill in this space between each tile. So that will be my grout. And we can actually check that. So as you are moving on here and adding pieces and you want to just see how it's going, what you're going to do is go back up to your cursor here, click on that, click on your picture. So it's highlighted here. You're going to right click and then the order will show up. You want to go down to order and you want to send to back. But before I do that, I'm actually going to make my picture just slightly a little bigger than my background. That way when I want to send it to the front again, it's easily accessible. So I'm going to send it to the back. I right clicked, went to order, send to back, and see that we can already see my part of my pie. And then the grout is in between each piece. Okay, so then I'm going to actually click on my picture again, right click, go up to order, send to front. Oh, went one too many. Sorry, not send to front. You want to bring forward. So that way your tiles still are there. Okay, then we're going to go back to our polyline icon, and we're going to keep going. So as you go and you're making your tiles, remember, keep them small and kind of leave space between them. And you want to try and match the colors best you possibly can. So I wouldn't want to keep this one white. So then I can change the color here, and I'm going to go just a little bit lighter than the sides, just to show a difference between the side and the top of the pie. And that might be a little too light, but that's all right. So I'm going to do all my pieces around my whipped cream here. These pieces are a little lighter, and I actually could make them a little darker. These are pretty light. Okay, then I'm going to do my whipped cream. Again, you don't want to go around the entire thing. You want to make up your own little shapes and connect them. My whipped cream is white, so I need to change the color. Go up to your solids, changing my whipped cream to white. Add a couple more here. Leave space between. So every time you click the button, you're starting a new line. All right, so I have my whipped cream. Now I just need my crust. And I don't want to go and make this really, really long shape, so please don't do something like this. Okay, I would like actually you to come up with more of small shapes to create each piece or part of your picture, each piece of your pie. So something like this. And you see that my pie crust actually ends up changing colors. It has dark colors in it and light colors in it. So I'm going to do all my light colors and then come back with a dark color and fill in that dark color. So I want you just kind of have fun with this. And then we'll do my dark colors here. So I'm going to go back and change my color to a darker color, something like that for my crust. And then you could decide to stop with just your pie. You could decide to do the plate and even the table that the pie is sitting on. But again, just make sure you go back and check to see how it's going. So cursor, click on your picture, right click, go to order, send back. And there's my pie with the whipped cream on it. Again, try and avoid really big pieces. The littler pieces, the better. Going back to my son here, some of these got really, really small. Let's zoom in here just a little bit. If we look at this, we have really small pieces here. I'm changing colors. His whole sweatshirt's a bunch of different patterns and colors. The front of the car is a different shade of red than the side of the car, and just different things like that. I have different greens within the tree as well. So if you need to get more detailed, what you can do is zoom in if you need to. So then go over to the zoom button. You can zoom in, get closer, and make more detailed. So I could put another piece right here, which I will right now here. So I could put another piece in here. And it's easier to get more detailed pieces if you're zoomed in a lot farther. Oh, wrong color. I almost like that color better. And then you can zoom back out just to make sure that you're doing everything right. So this is just kind of the base idea of the Mosaic and Mosaic project. I hope you have fun. Let me know if you have any questions or need help with anything, but experiment and enjoy.